Yes, the way first timer is going to be called, we're going to be using my food timer for the timers, and that's going to be 49. Well, actually, it hasn't been completely agreed. Yeah, we got to remember no pre-buffing, of course. So make sure you're taking those that stuff off. The timer has not been confirmed yet, so we probably are not going to be going at 49. And yes,
Yeah,
obviously.
I think one of the LC revs has his facets on.
Yes, so
It's
take that
unfortunate.
off. But yeah, here we go. So you said 4-2 for ONS. I think that's definitely fair. I am actually going to say 4-1 for ONS. I think that ONS is going to if they drop any rounds, it's just going to be one. But I'm certainly hopeful that it is going to be more competitive. Yeah. Oh, there's the big old dab from Gregor. Whew!
Neckbeard AF, brothers. Dab.
Yeah, brother. But here we go.
So I think round started.
Oh, wow. They actually did go at 49. There you go. But here we go. First round coming out. No stealth from LC, it actually looks like. And we already have 2 players going down from LC. 2 going to be immediately cleaved out. The third player probably going down as well. 5, 6 going down. Win's going to be dropped by both groups, but I don't think LC has any way to come back from this.
7, 8 down, yeah.
And that's going to be round 1. What happened there? They didn't stealth.
I don't know. Like, maybe they just had a miscommunication. It looks like they started maybe a half a second or a second later than ONS did. It looks, not saying that the ONS jumped the gun or anything, but maybe LC didn't have a plan quite yet on what they wanted to do stealth-wise. It looks like they had some of their scrappers do some stealth, but not everybody got caught with it. But it's hard to tell. That's a round you want to forget on that one.
Yeah. Now, obviously, it is just first round. Don't they have 2 scrappers? They do have 2 scrappers, yeah. It's we obviously don't know for sure if that was just miscommunication, like I said. But again, it's just bracket half, no, not brackets. It's first round. We can't really we can't complete the entire GvG from one round. Definitely potential to come back.
They got 4 to work with. Some of these rounds are just going to be filling out, especially the first couple ones of the entire tournament. So,
yeah.
All right, we did have 1 drop from LC.
Okay.
So now they have 14.
Yeah,
I believe they do have. I'm not getting any word on it, but they do have a 3-minute between round timer. So
obviously, if there's a D.
Mm-hmm.
Still Weaver. Still this Weaver with healing food. Interesting. Oh, and I forgot to put the DPS meter up. That's my bad.
It's also running Signet of Restoration. So something's clicking there that hasn't clicked for me quite yet, but I don't think LC has any. Yeah, they don't have any extras, so comp change is probably out of the question at this point. I know ONS has a few extras, but the telling of that first round should mean that they're probably not going to swap anybody out or make anything too egregious in changes. But
yeah, I'm just checking to see. Okay, yeah, we've got 1 DC from LC. So yes, there is going to be a disconnect, guys. But excuse me, I don't. That first round is still going to count. The DC was not going to have, unless of course that was their raid leader. I think probably the only player. Yeah, that would matter, in that regard. But yeah, so we just have to wait a little bit for that lat 15 player to come back in. Obviously, yes, normally. Can you GvG and keep normally you wouldn't be allowed to wait longer than 3 minutes in between each round, but in the event of a DC, we obviously allow people extra time, especially because it does not look like they have anyone sitting out, so they don't have any subs to put in. But yeah, again, that Weaver really confuses me, and, they're not running Thieves, but they do have double Scrapper, so they definitely could Smoke Blast here, and I definitely think they should. I think they would have a much better chance of engaging on ONS if they did. And they're running 2 Scrappers, so they're almost certainly going to be revealing ONS. I mean, having double Scrapper in Guildhall and not being able to reveal would be pretty impressive in my opinion.
I think they're just using the gyro, though. I don't know if they're not confident in their stealth blasting abilities, but it's something that they should work on quickly because they're not going to last long in such a short range.
Absolutely.
Against a guild that is even stealthing, it's too much.
Okay, is their 15th player back?
No, not yet. He's not even in squad, so I can't.
Okay. Toxic Justin is saying, he said go to me. But he obviously needs to tell ONS that. Obviously, if he wants to just play with 14, then he's allowed to do that. Would be unfortunate. What was the player that left?
I believe they lost one of their warriors.
Okay.
So they were running 2, but no, obviously they're down to 1.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
quick maths right there.
That's certainly going to affect their damage, but it doesn't really, they're obviously not going to lose wins for that since they were only allowed to run 1 before anyways. But yeah.
And now they just had a Firebrand DC, or he's on Koenig BL, so I don't know what the situation there is, but
that is certainly unfortunate for LC. Obviously, DC issues and Guildhall issues causing some problems. It happens. We hate to see it, but it does happen indeed. And it's certainly unfortunate for LC here. But they may end up going anyways, although there hasn't been a food timer called yet, so I'm not sure. Someone from ONS asking if they can go in for LC.
That's Mikey right there. Oh.
Good man, Mikey. But all right, so obviously that first round was, I gotta say, essentially a Imperial back have to defend Bay. I don't know about that. It was a pretty clear 1 push, I would say, for ONS staying that round. But other than not stealthing, I mean, is there anything that you think LC needed to do differently there, or is it just,
It's not being stealth is such a weight against your guild, especially in such a small arena, that you either have to time your dodges perfectly or just have your scrappers get a reveal off as soon as possible so you can judge your dodges. If they're not going to be able to stealth correctly, they're going to be on the back foot from the beginning. And maybe if they know that, they can plan some of their Aegis better, but it's very difficult not stealthing properly.
Yeah, absolutely. And, hopefully we're going to see something different happen. I mean, again, like I said, certainly unfortunate that we're having these DCs. I don't know if they are planning to wait. I mean, I think they were going to go with 14, but obviously now that they have 13.
Well, now they're down to 13 because that person left the squad as well. So,
just talking to Justin at the moment. Again, obviously DCs, but if we have to wait probably another few minutes, I think we're gonna have to just tell them to just go with what they have. If ONS wants to drop to 13, they're certainly able to, but I understand that DC issues are not really in your control, but unfortunately, you should try to have some people ready to jump in when you have DCs. And I mean, you just need to be prepared. So yeah, we're gonna give them a couple more minutes to get those players back in, and then we're just gonna tell them they have to go with what they have, because we don't want to just sit for too long doing nothing.
And the good thing too about this double elim tournament is that just because they have these DC issues doesn't necessarily mean they're out. They can come back in the lower bracket, albeit, but they can have more opportunities to face off against some other guilds. So.
Why does Roy look like his display picture? Oh, because it's a selfie.
What does that even mean? I'm getting hated on because I'm not suited up, dude.
That's okay. I think personally, Gregor, I think you look great. And honestly, if I wasn't wearing a suit, it wouldn't even be there. You couldn't compare the two. So it wouldn't be fun.
I'm gonna bring a suit next time. I have a suit.
Am I wearing pants? I am wearing pants, but they're sweatpants. I did not put the suit pants on for this. I did not feel it was necessary. Quickly, while we are waiting for these players to get in, I talked about this with Rhett a little bit, but I have not really had a chance to go over the full brackets with you. So, you did say that you think that Wavy and T are probably strong contenders for the finals, and I would agree. Okay, yeah, so yeah, these guys are gonna start in 2 minutes if whether or not their players are back.
Okay, that's.
Yeah, so 2 more minutes, guys, and then we're gonna be going to the next round. Again, unfortunate that LC is having these DC issues, but as Gregor mentioned, they will have a second chance to come back in if they do end up losing because of this. But the 2 matches that I think are going to be really, sort of up in the air, VR Boo and assuming PMA beats Hate, PMA and Rex. Now, what do you think about those 2?
I think the one that I'm more excited to see is PMA versus Rex. Not to discard hate or anything, but I think PMA is a clear winner of that one. Rex is a little bit of a dark horse. Not seen much of them before this tournament was announced. A little bit off and on, but interesting to see how well they play together for two guilds that have come together across different time zones. I'm not sure much of how that came to be, but they've played really well since, and versus PMA, which I think is a pretty okay guild, pretty good. Not much in terms of GvG experience, which I think is perfect against a guild like Rex, because you're bringing people who haven't played together for a long time. I don't know how long it was in the profile that they listed, but that'll probably be a tighter matchup than VR versus Boo. I do think that VR has kind of locked down their strategy, and they've got their players and their comp set for what they want to do. Now, this balance patch could change that, but I think for these first couple of matchups, that I think VR is going to be very successful against Boo.
I personally, I really think that Boo could take it. I mean, I know VR, again, like I was saying before, is a very strong contender, but I think Boo just have much more GvG experience to draw upon than VR do. But again, I think that VR honestly is one of the guilds like coming into this tournament that I think people really didn't expect. I mean, again, they're the only guild to take rounds off of Wavy, and I definitely think that they need to be considered more than a lot of other guilds, even though they haven't been GvGing much. And as this person just said in Twitch chat, yeah, you can tell VR is getting better very fast. So, again, I think the GvG experience they're going to get from this tournament is only going to help them as long as they don't get knocked out too early. So, it'll be really good to see them. And then, of course, assuming that TE and Rex both win their next GvGs, we do have timer, guys, so that's obviously very good. So, we'll be quite on there quite soon. But assuming that TE and Rex both win their GvGs, I think it'll be great to see that GvG. I think that's going to be one of the best GvGs I think of this tournament if TE and Rex go up against each other. I could not call it.
Lower brackets.
I really couldn't call it. No, you're fine.
TE versus Rex.
Yeah.
You're right. You're absolutely right. I think Rex, from what I have seen of them, has kind of an amplified problem that ONS has. Is if they can survive that first hit, and they do very often, that their counterpunch is very strong. And I think TE sometimes has issues with surviving that first hit, especially out of stealth. But depending on when their matchup is, which will probably be post-patch, that could change completely.
Yeah. But here we go.
Round starts here.
Second round, and not all of LC is going to be in stealth, so a pretty easy engage here for ONS as we come into the second round. Bubble going to be dropped by ONS, and a couple downstages coming out here. Shade's going to be dropped by LC, and it does look like they try to drop wins, but unfortunately not going to be able to follow up in that. And several down coming out here for LC as well as ONS push straight over them. And I believe that is going to be the second round. Again, going to ONS, and again, LC not doing well in that engage. Just they're not stealthing.
They're just not to survive.
You cut out there a little bit.
Oh, sorry. Like I said, I don't think they're just getting that stealth off very well, and I don't know if ONS is doing Basilisk on the reveal. I'm not sure that they are. You kind of need to keep your stealth as long as possible if you want to get a favorable engage, and that's something that they're just not doing. And it's very hard to play off the back foot, especially in Guildhall, where a good dome can just keep you locked down and allow the Necros to just keep pounding on you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know if it's the fact that they don't have thieves and they're trying to stealth with scrappers that are just throwing them off, or what it is. But yeah, I mean, definitely not having stealth is an issue. And of course, are they still down 2 players?
Correct. They are down 2 players.
So they are playing 13-15. Yes, which is not what you want. Although actually, I think they moved somebody out here. It looks like ONS did sit somebody out.
Oh, okay.
They did sit a thief out, so I think they're running 14 at the moment.
Did their scrapper switch to Hollowsmith before?
Yes, he did. I didn't see if it was before or after the round. Although it's on the DPS meter. Not on the Hollowsmith. I'm assuming on scrapper last round.
I would assume so as well.
Yeah. But yeah, so we are going to see the Hollowsmith coming out here for ONS, and they are running 14 instead of 15. Just to try and keep the numbers a little bit more consistent here with LC. But it is going to be 2-0 still. 35 confirmed on the timer, so 15 seconds till the next round goes. And here we are. Finally, we're moving along a little bit better in this GvG. And it is unfortunately looking out like it's going to be the 4-0 for ONS, which would not be great, but obviously LC are playing with less numbers, so, kudos to them for continuing to go. And once again, their stealth not going to be good on this engage.
Hey, they get the reveal off, though. Excellent. What I don't think it's going to be enough for them is they're going to have 3-4 members now. 5-6 members going hard down here for LC. And that's just going to be a quick one and done for this round, as OnS is going to mop it up. I don't know how much the Holosmith was able to shine there, if it's able to shine at all.
Well, his DPS actually did look pretty good, so we'll have to see once everyone gets out of combat how his DPS compares to the rest of the players. I'd say if there's any time for a Holosmith to play, it would be now. But yeah, I mean, obviously, again, you hate to see LC struggling roster-wise and struggling DC-wise, but, I do definitely feel like there's a couple things that they needed to be doing a little bit better. We actually see a golem, a power suit coming out here. Now, is there a reason for that, or do you think they're kind of just,
I think he's just having a good time at the end of the round.
Having a good time.
I think that's what that is, and that's good to see. I think people being light spirits about it, and, kudos to LC fighting 2 people down. But I think they did finally get another Firebrand in there, so they're back up to 4. So now they're running back 14 versus 15, which is still a handicap, but a little bit left. So they have.
Actually, it is going to be 14-14. I believe. Oh, maybe no. I'm wrong. You're absolutely right. It is for ONS. But all right, this is potentially the last round of the GvG, guys. We're just waiting for a timer for it. It is 3-0 for ONS. So if they win this round, that'll be GG. And that'll be the GvG over. Again, not really what you want to see first off, right off the bat, the 4-0. But obviously, LC struggling with some DCs. And for whatever reason, having some problems stealthing. So, they're going to have to try to fix that. But keep in mind, they are not going to be out of the tournament if they lose this next round, which will be starting in about 30 seconds. Because it is double elimination, so they'll be going down to the loser's bracket to try to get their way back in. And we will be seeing them again at some point. But here we go. Another 15 seconds. 30 to 30 is going to be the timer. And we'll be starting what is potentially the last round of this GvG. Certainly, I would assume it's going to be. Haven't really seen anything from LC so far to make me think otherwise. But here we go. 5 seconds. The stealth will be coming out here now. If these groups go for it. Just the swiftness actually coming out for LC, so they're not going to go for the stealth blast, just the sneak drivers here. Going for the reveal are the scrappers. Not sure they're really going to get much. LC trying not to get pushed too hard, but 1 going down, 2 going down inside this first wins. There's going to be a wins drop by LC, but I don't know if they're going to really have any follow-up damage in it. 1 low player, Scourge, caught here for ONS, but again, I think there's just too many downstates on the side of LC, dropping some shades, trying to make something out of it, but I believe that is going to be GG, and it is going to be the 4-0 for ONS. Starting this tournament off looking very clean. LC, unfortunately, having some problems, but hopefully we will see them again. We will see them again. Hopefully we'll see them changing some issues. But, of course, GG's to ONS, taking it 4-0. And again, looking very good.
Yeah, clean. Again, how much of that, obviously ONS won it, but how much did LC prepare for that? I'm not sure, but again, as the tournament goes on, they'll have opportunities to kind of refine their gameplay, maybe fix some of the issues. And again, Guildhall is not the ideal, but and obviously having some DCs is not ideal as well. But I think the score was indicative of what reality shows, if that makes sense. So
yes, I do pull the lever, yeah. But all right, guys. I mean, unfortunately, that is going to be it for tonight. We only had 1 GvG scheduled. Fortunately, this weekend we will be having again. Giveaway? I think some. Should we do, of course we're going to do a giveaway. I mean, Max is here for that reason alone. So we'll do a giveaway. But I do just want to thank everybody for watching, and of course, shout out to ONS. Very well played. 4-0, looking very, very good, and huge shout out to LC again. Obviously really rough having those DCs and, whatever the issues were roster-wise, if they were being forced to play those scrappers and we were, like we saw. But yeah, cheers to them for going on and not really delaying the tournament for too long. And that's what I like to see. So GG's to LC, and we will see them again in the loser bracket.